Hi, I'm Drew,
And I'm Lindsay.
and this is Live Well Bethel Park. Live Well Bethel Park is a monthly series that brings you tips and tricks to help you live a happier, healthier life. In this episode, we'll discuss the benefits of eating local. It may sound simple, but eating fresher food is better for you. Later, we'll talk about how buying local gets you the best nutritional value, helps the environment, and supports local businesses and families. Lindsay is the Bethel Park Special Events Coordinator in charge of organizing the weekly farmers market. She's going to tell us about the farmers market and then visit with 3 vendors that come to the market each week.
The Bethel Park Market runs every Tuesday from May till September and features local vendors that sell everything from fresh eggs and cheeses, meats and bread, and of course produce. We have over 30 vendors each week, and if you don't feel like cooking, we have 6 food trucks that will do the cooking for you. You can check out the full vendor list and schedule at BethelParkFarmersMarket.com. Today we'll be visiting Jose Quiroz, a farmer who pours his love into his plants, Loafer's Bread, where they mill their own flour daily, and Logan Farms, a beef and pork farm the whole family takes part in. First up, we head to Loafer's Bread, where they scratch-baked bread for over 20 years. Today we are here at Loafer's with Clyde, one of the bakers. Can you tell me a little bit about the history of Loafer's and what you guys do here?
Sure. We've been around about 26 years. Had 3 stores currently, Cranberry, Wexford, and Fox Chapel. Wexford is where we are at. That is our main bakery where we do the milling of our flours, the mixing, the actual mixing of our dough, and forming of our loaves and baking here.
So for everyone watching, can you explain the process of milling and what milling is?
Sure. We take the wheat berries that are whole. They don't tend to spoil as fast. Once flour is milled, it will start to deteriorate quality and to start to spoil. It's a year process or more, but the wheat berries go into the top hopper, and they as they come down, we can adjust the rate that they feed down the chute that we've shown. So actually in the mill, in the gray metal part, we have a stone that's does not move. It's stationary. And then in the other half, there's a stone that does turn like this, just in circles, and it's just literally grinding it. When it gets small enough to fall through, however we have it set, then it'll come out that chute and into the bucket. You saw that it's a pretty slow process. The way we do it, there are faster ways. More commercial mills will do it faster, of course, just to produce a good amount of flour. But for us, it takes about 20 minutes to mill 50 pounds of flour. And again, as we go through about 150 pounds to 200 pounds daily for the breads that we do.
We're going to try and lift up the cover here. It is a slow process with the flour. It's kind of surprising that it takes as long as it does. You'll see that we started with an empty bucket. Yeah, you're kind of getting it everywhere. You can kind of see it shooting out. It's by no means a fast process, but it gets us what we're looking for. We can determine what we need to mill it to for our specifications. Again, rather than changing our formulas that we need to add more water because it's finer and absorbs water quicker, or vice versa. So that gives us the opportunity to do exactly what we're looking for in this process.
And you are involved with various farmers markets in the area?
Correct. We have a couple that we hit. We're working on a Cranberry Market, signing up for that. Then we have Bethel Park, which is what you're familiar with, and some others in the south.
Okay. And what made you choose Bethel Park Farmers Market?
It has always performed as one of our better markets. We had 2 stores at one time in that area, and we still have people who, even 15 years after those stores have closed, that still look for our products, and they're looking for, a unique product that we offer with a bread that's mixed here, locally, and they are no preservatives, no added fats or oils to most of them. Anything that does have a fat or oil gets it from cheese or butter that we add to it. So we're not adding any shortenings or any different ingredients like that.
So everything is baked fresh.
Correct.
When you bring it to the market.
Yeah, every day we're baking and bringing it to the markets. Yeah.
So, among the breads that we make with our milled flour, we also make the sweets we talked about. We can show some of the sweets on the rack too, but these are our cinnamon rolls. We proof these bake in our oven. We have a rather large oven, which we can show you that too now. So, this is a carousel oven, they call it, and it holds 8 shelves. It has 8 shelves throughout it. So they are numbered, so we can keep track of what's on each shelf. These will hold 6 trays each with 4 loaves of bread on it. That's 24, and then we get 8, so it's 100 and, I have to do the math, about 192 loaves.
So I know you said that everything here is started from scratch, made from scratch, including your flours.
Yeah.
How do you source the products that you use to make your flours?
We've purchased flour, wheat berries from a couple different areas. We have had a supplier in the other side of the state, the eastern part of Pennsylvania, where we have purchased some wheat berries. We've purchased cornmeal that they've milled. Oats we've purchased there too. So there are some items that we can get locally, that are grown locally, and they just really don't leave the state. They're just all here.
So some of the types of breads that we baked this morning, the challah, that's a traditional braided bread. It contains butter and eggs, so it's a little bit softer and a little bit richer than a regular white. Today, one of our baker's choices was chocolate cherry. It's very popular. We do that around Valentine's Day and put it on a couple other times throughout the year. All stone ground whole wheat flour, like you saw from the mill, and then we add the dried cherries and chocolate chips to it. Sunflower whole wheat, and I don't have any of the honey. Well, this is the honey whole wheat up here as well. So these two are the same bread basically. We just add the sunflower kernels to those guys. Cinnamon swirl. We might have one on the board that I can show you, but that is just, again, basically our honey white bread. Then we add brown sugar and cinnamon. No added fat, no added oil. We don't put butter on it like a lot of bakeries do, and it's really quite a great bread. Our English muffin bread starts with a little bit of sourdough starter that we created here probably about 6 years ago. It is a great bread, full of lots of air and kind of nooks and crannies like you're looking for with an English muffin. It is basically like an English muffin in its form. It gets rolled in cornmeal to help it come out of the pan. And then this is our honey white, basic, just white bread. A great sandwich bread, good with the meal. One of my favorites for sure. This is an assortment of some of the sweets that we make. We start with our scones here. This recipe was actually from an employee's grandmother who is from Scotland, so it's a pretty authentic scone. Very simple, but they're really good, nice and moist, unlike a lot of scones that I've had. We have our oat bran muffins that we make. Those are low fat. We use egg whites instead of whole eggs in those. We use a little bit of canola oil, and then it contains fresh pureed oranges that help keep it moist without adding the extra oil. Different flavors every day, 2 or 3 types here at our Wexford Bakery that we do bring to those markets as well. And then our cinnamon rolls, very good cinnamon rolls. They're always nice and big, plump, available plain and with pecans too. This is our sample board. We always sample. That's the cinnamon swirl. Just brown sugar and cinnamon swirled through there. Again, no butter. It does remain fat-free and cholesterol-free at that point too. So that's a great bread and makes a great French toast.
So you personally, how long have you been working with Loafers?
I've been here for over 21 years. It's a great place to work. I moved up here from Virginia and started working here immediately. I have a background in actually culinary rather than baking. So it was kind of an odd thing for me to slide into, but it's worked out very well. So I've been here for 21 years. It's a great product. It's something that I've stood behind and been able to enjoy, making and supplying to people for sure. Yeah.
So Loafers has been with the market for over 10 years now.
Markets are always great. Everybody, people are happy when they're outside and the weather's nice and they can get, everything from produce. You have one-stop shopping of just a lot of it's unique items or special items that are a little nicer than what you can find elsewhere. Just something that somebody puts a lot into with the preparation of it, that you see the person who's made it, or you see the person who stands behind the product and thinks that it's great because it is.
Next up, we'll meet the family behind Logan Family Farms, a multi-generational farm offering beef and pork in Irwin, PA. I'm here with Jen Logan at Logan Family Farms. They have been with our farmers market for several years, and we are here today to learn about beef farming. So why don't you tell me a little bit about the farm and the history of the farm?
Yeah, so we are a multi-generational farm. I married into the family. I was not born a farmer, but I quickly became one. My husband, when he grew up on the farm, he didn't want to do it for his lifestyle. Went off to college and realized he missed the farm and moved back. And then several years later met me, and we married and have kids. And so it went from his parents focusing mainly on it to slowly going to him and I. So we're in that transition process. And we have 3 kids right now. Claire's 5, Micah's 3, Anna's 2. And they love the farm. Micah is just a farm boy at heart. He is obsessed. Every morning, Christmas morning, he wakes up. The first thing he says, "Can I go to the farm?" on Christmas morning. So it brings a lot of value to our family.
Can you walk me through a day in the life of the farm, living on the farm, taking care of the animals?
Yes. So livestock need fed every day of the year. Christmas, Easter, every day. Every day. Christmas morning to you might be in your PJs, hanging out the house for several hours or going to a church service. Our Christmas morning entails opening up presents as a family and then feeding the cattle and then moving on. So it's such an integral part of our life, and my husband very much loves it. He loves the cattle, loves working with them.
Okay. And I see signs posted all over your shop here, no hormones, no antibiotics.
Correct.
You raise your cattle pretty naturally?
Yes, very much so. So our cattle, we can tell you exactly what, how they were raised. We can tell you exactly what they were given, and I can tell you they're not antibiotics, they're not hormones. We do not implant our cattle. A lot of beef that you purchase in the store came from a steer that had a capsule implanted into its muscle that slowly released estrogen to help it grow big. The more meat you get from that cattle, the more money you make, okay? We don't do that. We focus on natural. Back to the basics, the way nature intended. We let them grow the way they're supposed to. Does that mean we get some smaller cuts? Absolutely. But we can tell you with confidence it's good meat and it's natural. And I'm going to touch just super quick on the mRNA vaccine. I've been asked this a lot of times. We do not give the mRNA vaccine, and nor will we. It does not align with our natural promise. And it's not even available to livestock right now, but it is being tested. And if it is something that is given to livestock, we will not do it. So I wanted to touch on that because a lot of people are nervous.
I think natural is the way to go for sure.
It absolutely is.
And I see you guys offer tons of different cuts of meat.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about is it pretty standard? Do you guys offer anything unique?
We offer it every main cut. We almost have everything in stock. What we do different is every week we send cutting instructions to our processor. So every week we get, I tell them what to cut. So let's say you want to have a rib roast next week, and you call me up, say, "Hey Jen, can I have a rib roast?" And I say, "Absolutely." I'll put that cutting instructions in. I'll have it for you for the following week. So anything you want and that we don't have, we can get for you. Probably right around 2010 is when we started doing the farmers markets because we realized the value in them. And that gave us such good word of mouth, and it really helped get us to where we are today.
Great. And what do you like about the Bethel Park Farmers Market specifically?
I like it is the best of both, because we go to some markets and the crowd just wants food. We go to some markets and the crowd just wants meat. And Bethel likes them both. They will get a burger and they will get meat. And everyone is just so friendly, and it's a really great place to have it. And there's it's a very good time there.
Thank
a lot
you.
of happy, smiling faces.
We like having you guys there too.
We also started on our Facebook page a Meat Info Monday. Every Monday I post something that discusses the meat, where it comes from, breaking down the shoulder and the rib and the loin to help educate, because it is very confusing and intricate.
I think that's always really nice too, because sometimes when you're buying cuts in the grocery store, you're not sure how to cook it to get the best flavor out of the meat.
Exactly, because you could take a really great cut and ruin it, and that's people say, oh, your meat's amazing, and I'll say, well, thank you, and it also means you cooked it correctly too.
Yeah.
You can always mess that up as well.
So what kinds of things do you bring to the market? I know you mentioned cooking at the market and having items for sale.
Yeah. So we have our great tasting burgers that we grill and sell, and then we also take every kind of meat. And in the coolers, we take 4 coolers. So we have a steak cooler, a roast cooler, a pork cooler, and then a ground beef and burger cooler. And so you can come and purchase more burgers to take home to cook. You can get a couple steaks. We also have an online website, so you can go online, you can place an order, and you can select where to pick it up, and you can pick it up at Bethel Market. We do ask orders be placed a day in advance, at least. We don't do same day orders, but then we pack up your order and we take it to the market, and you can pick it up there. All of the meat that you purchase from us is USDA inspected. So we go to a processing facility with an inspector there. And so our meat is inspected before it gets packaged and sold, so it can be, trusted, good quality.
So I noticed a lot of the cows are black. Is there a reason for that?
We raise primarily Black Angus. We do have a couple Hereford, but the Black Angus is known for its really good meat quality, and that's what we focus on: genetics, meat quality, natural, and raised, and just the way nature intended.
So we've talked a little bit about sustainability and a good carbon footprint. How are you guys doing that here at the farm?
So we try and utilize everything. The cow manure that's from the cattle in the barn, we haul and spread it across the field, so it fertilizes our sweet corn and our field corn, and also our soybeans. And so we try and utilize all of that, and everything about the steer. So we have a couple customers actually who use hearts, tongues, livers, kidneys for dog food. And so we just really try and get every bit of it used, because you don't want anything to go to waste.
So we're out here in the barn with some of the cows, but I just learned that they're not called cows yet.
No, so these are heifers, and a heifer is, it's before they had a calf. So as soon as these heifers here have a calf, they'll then be considered a cow. So right now they're just heifers. And in about a couple weeks, a week or two here, we are going to release them out to the pastures. In the wintertime, we bring them in here because do you see much grass on the ground in the wintertime? No, we want to make sure they're well taken care of. So we bring them in here and take care of them through the wintertime. And I always really like to say we take care of them because they will then take care of us in so many ways. They nutritionally support us, and then they also help support our family, because what we do here is for our family and to give people natural meat while giving our children something that, if they want it, can be passed down to them.
The backbone to any farmer's market is its produce. We're visiting Jose Quiroz' farm in Salem, Ohio to see all the produce that he's planted for us with love. I'm here with Jose Quiroz. He owns the farm that comes to the farmer's market. We'll be in our 3rd season with him this year. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your family?
Yeah, my family lives in Mexico. I have my wife and 3 kids. I'm married 12 years ago. I have 3 boys. One is 10, 9, and 7. And I came in 1996 to the United States because I have 11 brothers, and we grew very poor in Mexico, and everybody tried to move different area to have better life. I love this country. I am citizenship now because I like this country. I come into Ohio March to the first week in November, and I going to Mexico. I spend 5 months in Mexico and 7 in here in Ohio. And now I'm happy in here because the weather is nice in here, and soon I'm going to start growing my produce, and that made me excited and happy. And I feel happy in this area.
How did you get into farming?
When I came to Ohio in 1997, I came to Ohio from Mexico, and I started working for John Hoffman, and I worked for him 11 years. And later, I started working my own farm.
Okay.
Because in Mexico, I was a farmer.
What do you farm in Mexico?
I grow animals, cows, goats, sheep, yeah. And I started here with the fruit.
Okay.
I love to work in the farm. I don't like to work inside. I really like to work
To be outside.
Yeah, because I grow in the country in Mexico, and I don't like the city. I really like the work with the ground.
And how big is your farm?
I have 16 acres.
You're 16 acres. So what made you choose Ohio? How did you end up here?
I came to Ohio, and when I came the first time, I like Ohio, and I stay here. There's a lot of ground to work, and I say I like to work in the field, in the country. I don't like to live in the city. I love the country.
The country.
Yeah, I am farmer. Yeah.
Yeah. And all of your trees are locally sourced too. All of your trees came from Pennsylvania?
Yeah, all my
Okay.
trees coming from Adams County in Pennsylvania. I have 800 apple trees, and I have 200 peach trees, and today I'm planting 100 more peach trees, and I have 120 plum trees.
So 800 apple, 100 peach trees.
200
peach trees.
200 producing now, and I'm planting today 100 more.
100 more.
This is a golden plum.
Oh.
Let me go grab a shovel, and I want to see you planting one tree.
I don't know what I was expecting from peach trees, but this was not it. So how long from when you plant your tree does it start producing fruit?
When you plant, you have to wait 3 years for a good crop.
3 years for a good crop.
The second year, you can pick very few. The first year, the tree grow. The second year, they make very few fruit. Peach or apple, they make very few. But the third year, all kind of fruit, the third year is good. I pruned 2 weeks ago. I tried to open the tree because all the fruit need a lot of sunshine, and I prune a little harder tree because I don't wanna see my tree going broke down when the tree has too much weight and the tree is too little. They broke, and I prune hard, and the tree can stay straight.
So it'll stay straight, and the more sunshine, the sweeter the fruit,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to thin very hard the apples, and they grow better, big, nice color, better flavor.
Bigger, nice color, better flavor when they
Yeah.
have more sunshine.
Yeah, when you leave the tree a lot too thick, you go and pick a lot of apples, but too little and too green and less sugar.
So this is rhubarb?
Yeah, this rhubarb going to be ready in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. They start growing 2 weeks ago, and every year the rhubarb make more leaves. It's bigger.
It'll get bigger every year.
Yeah, this I planted last year,
Okay.
and they going make some, but in 2-3 years they're going to make more because the plant grow more around, make more wide.
So we'll probably see rhubarb at some of the first farmers markets this year?
Yeah.
Early, okay.
I plant in plastic because in plastic they grow faster.
They grow faster under the plastic.
Yeah. You see here the potatoes coming now.
These are potatoes. Oh, that little.
Yeah. The plant coming now.
Oh,
You see the
yeah.
new roots and the plant start growing over here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is early potato. This going to be ready around mid-June
Mid-June.
because this variety is early.
It's early.
This stay only 75 days, and some take 100 days, and some varieties take 130 days. And I plant this kind is early,
I see.
and the name is Merlin.
Merlin.
Yeah, this is red potato.
So you also make your own honey here.
Yes, I made my own honey here because I really need honeybees.
You need the honeybees.
Honeybees because if I don't have any honeybees in here, I'm not going to have good crop. The bees pollinate the flowers and they make the fruit stay in the tree.
They pollinate the flowers and so the fruit stays in the tree.
Yes,
So you get better fruit and you get honey when you
Yes.
have the bees.
and I like to sell my own honey. I like to make my own honey.
When is the right time to collect the honey?
The best is after the trees bloom. Tomatoes, when you have tomatoes, flowers, pumpkins, they make more honey. You can make 2 times
Oh, you
a
can make
year.
it twice a year.
Yeah.
So the honeybees are working hard for you too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they make good job, especially when we have hot weather. And I love farmers markets too.
They are fun. I do love farmers markets too.
So, what are the health benefits of eating locally sourced food? Fruits and vegetables can start losing their nutrients as early as 24 hours after they're harvested. If the food is set to be shipped across the country, it's generally picked before it's ripe so that it will appear fresh on store shelves. This limits the plant's ability to store the full amount of nutrients prior to harvesting. Shipping food across the country can take anywhere from 10 to 20 days. With such long transit times, producers typically have to use waxes or chemicals to preserve their products. Store-bought baked goods, meats, and dairy products often have added preservatives and fillers to lengthen shelf life. Additionally, the more stops your food makes in transit, the more chances there are for damage or contamination. Food is considered local if it comes from no more than 100 miles from your home. Keeping transit and storage times down helps the environment by reducing the carbon emissions from transporting and storing that food. Those carbon emissions can be 10 to 20 times that of local food. It also helps air quality in the region by keeping acreage green and open. You're also helping support the local economy and families in the region. Buying food at the farmer's market means that you can often speak directly with the people who grow or make your food. This way, you can learn exactly how the food was produced. Many farmers market vendors also source the materials locally. Try asking the self-checkout machine at the grocery store how that bag of frozen spinach was made. So whether it's fresh veggies, fresh bread, or locally raised meats, eating locally produced food is healthier for you, the environment, and helps support family businesses in the region. Thank you for the tours, Lindsay. I can really tell how much care goes into bringing this food to Bethel Park.
It was really interesting to learn a lot of the behind the scenes as to what goes into being a vendor at the market.
It certainly was interesting. Thank you. And thank you for watching. Live well, Bethel Park.